Good morning, children. In this video, we are going to see about the natural vegetation and wildlife. In depth, we are going to see about the natural vegetation, its distribution, and about the deforestation. Let us move into the video. What is meant by natural vegetation and wildlife? It is a renewable natural resource that is important for the existence of human beings on earth. It is nothing but the plant life that grows naturally in an area without the intervention of the human beings. What is a wildlife? It is also a renewable natural resource that is important for the existence of human beings on earth. It is the animal life found in an area and that has not been tamed or domesticated by humans. You don't domesticate those animals, or you cannot tame those animals. Now, the natural vegetation and wildlife, they are not existing separately. They are closely interconnected. We see that in this particular slide. The plants, they are the producers. They produce their own food and they are known as the autotrophs. They produce their own food. That's why it is termed as autotrophs. The next one, the animals. Animals depend directly or indirectly on the plants for their food, and they cannot produce their own food. That is why they are termed as heterotrophs, and therefore they are the consumers. Uses of natural vegetation. Natural vegetation, it plays a vital role in the sustenance of life. It is useful to humans in many ways. Let us see its uses. The first one, we get products like timber, lac, resins, herbs, fruits, nuts, gums, fuel wood, and so on. Trees produce the oxygen. Yes, it is essential for breathing. All living beings need for breathing this particular oxygen. The next one, the soil conservation. Yes, because of the plants and trees, they hold the soil and they prevent it from the soil erosion, and it conserves the soil, which is essential for the growth of the crops. Next one, trees act as a shelter belts. In the previous lesson, we saw in detail what is meant by the shelter belts. Yes, they prevent the topsoil from the wind, which is get blown off from the wind, and it also prevents the soil erosion. The next most important thing is the percolation of water. Yes, the roots of the trees, it will be helping the seepage of water and help increases and recharge the underground water. The next important thing again is the transpiration. Yes, these forests, they moderate the temperature and they provide the moisture through the process called transpiration. Now we'll see about the distribution of the natural vegetation. Yes, in the previous classes, you would have seen about in detail the distributions, the patterns, how they are distributed in the surface of the earth. And there are many factors on which they are dependent on. That is the latitudinal extent. The latitudinal extent, you would have studied this in your 6th standard. How the latitudes, the extent of the latitudes, that is the sunlight, how much sunlight they are getting. You would have studied about the temperate zone, torrid zone, and the frigid zone. Yes, according to the amount of sunlight, the region will be flourished in the natural vegetation. So the latitudinal extent is very, very important. That is one of the factor, main factor. The next one is the altitude. And the next one is the sunlight, temperature, and the type of the soil and the terrain where the natural vegetation is distributed. Next one is the precipitation, yes, the rainfall, and the slope of the land. Of these factors we saw, the two main factors for the growth of vegetation is the temperature and moisture. There are some important vegetation types of the world mentioned here, that is the forests, grasslands, scrubs, taiga and tundra. We will see some in detail just for the recap. First one, the forests, that the land that has a dense cover of trees and shrubs. Where they are found, the forests grow well in the regions where there is abundant rainfall, sunlight and appropriate temperature. Next one is the grassland. Where you can see the grassland, the land where grass and grass-like plants are dominant form of plant life is called the grassland, and it is grown in the regions of moderate rainfall. The next one is the shrubs. These are the low woody perennial plants. The thorny shrubs and the scrubs grow in the dry regions of the world, especially the deserts. The next most important thing is the deforestation. You already know what is the deforestation. It is the cutting down of trees. And why they are doing this deforestation? There are three important factors. One is the increasing population. Yes, as there is an increase in population, there is a need. The needs also increases. The land for settlement also, they need a vast land for their settlement and for various purposes. Yes, the deforestation is done. The next one is the demand for the land. Yes, due to the increase in population, there is a demand for land, not only for the human settlement, it is also for setting up the industries and so on. The next one is the demand for the wood and wooden products. Yes, we get the fiber, synthetic fibers from the plants and the wood for various purposes. Yes, for all these needs, we are cutting down the trees in a large scale. Why they are cutting down the trees? Yes, as we saw the earlier factors, there are some more examples here. They are cutting down the trees to clear land for agriculture, for putting up industries, for laying roads and railways, for firewood, for the manufacture of paper and synthetic fibers. Only few are listed here. There are many reasons behind it. The next one. This slide clearly explains what will happen after the deforestation. Yes, the first main thing is the soil erosion. Why the soil erosion? Yes, the trees will not hold the soil in place because there are no trees. So during the rainfall, what happens? The trees won't be there to hold the soil. So the rain takes away the fertile topsoil from the land, which is called as the leaching. Leaching is a process where the topsoil gets washed away along with the nutrients. So this washing away, that is the surface runoff. Okay, the water will be fully wasted. It will not the percolation will not happen. The seepage of the water will not reach the underground. The next one, as it is washing off, as the soil is washed off, the dams nearby this deforested area, the silt will be formed in the dams, and that is also a major problem. All these will result in the lowering of the water table in the area. So we see in detail about the results of deforestation, that is the soil erosion we saw. That is, as I explained, the rainwater washes away the topsoil as there are no roots to hold the soil tight. And this is the leaching. This ends in leaching also. Then the water table gets lowered as there is no seepage of rainwater, that is due to the surface runoff and the silt formation. And what happens even for the wildlife? Animals also, what will happen? If there is no forest, the animals will move into the human areas, human living areas, the habitation, human habitations, and they start to attack the human habitations in search of food. Yes children, in this video we saw about the natural vegetation, its distribution, and we saw in detail about the deforestation. In the next video we will see in detail about the wildlife. Thank you children.